Hey, everybody, it's John Bice with eXp Real Estate and the Florida for Boomers Network. Hey, if you're gathering information about the Sun Coast of Florida for Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch, Parish, Venice, you've come to the right spot. If you're liking these videos, hey, hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell, and you'll get a notification when we put out a new video about living, eating, shopping, having fun in this area. Today, we're going to talk to you about new construction, pros and cons, and why did buyers stop looking at resales? So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to give you some examples of things that are good and maybe not so good about new construction. So hang in there and we'll be right back. So what caused this shift from buyers and even retiring people here that are moving to Florida, not looking at resale homes, but almost 100% looking at new construction? Well, if we go all the way back to the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, what happened? The COVID thing. So in this area, with the elderly population, people were wondering, do I put my house on the market? Is it okay to put my house on the market? Do I want people walking through my house? So our inventory levels went from pretty much normal inventory, which is about 6 months of inventory, to literally almost nothing on the market. It was crazy. So when that happened, people were still buying, but they couldn't get into resales. So they shifted over to the new construction market. And really, we're finding that buyers are still in that mindset that it's basically new construction or nothing. Well, our resale inventory is actually creeped up. We're at about 4 months of inventory now. And as I said, 6 months of inventory is normal. So we do have the availability of some homes that are on the market. The big thing is right now, are they priced right? Or did the agent price them like it was January, February, and March of 2022? So that's a big thing to consider. So that's what happened in this market. That's why we had the shift over to new construction away from resales. And then the builders got flooded and caused the demand for supplies to probably be 10 times what it was, because we had building going on previously, but we didn't have every builder maxed out. So what did that do? All of a sudden, 10 times the demand on air conditioning system, 10 times the roof demand on roofing supplies. And the biggest one, 10 times the demand on laborers to build those homes. So it really slowed down the process a lot. Some of these builders have stopped offering pools with their homes. Some of them have to wait for the appliances to get there so they can be able to close on that new construction home. So those are some of the things that happened, and that's why we've had that shift over to new construction away from resales. Well, what are some of the advantages of buying new construction? Well, before your closing date, typically about a week to 10 days before closing on that home, you're going to walk through it with the construction manager, and they call it an introduction to your new home. And if during that process you see something, maybe a wall wasn't painted correctly or needs touch up, maybe one of the tiles on the floor cracked or anything like that, it'll give them that week to 10 days to get all those things corrected. Now, in our area, I will tell you that the county does 30 inspections while that home is being built, all the way from when the slab is poured, when the brick walls go up, when the frames for the roof go up, when the shingle or tile roof is installed, plumbing, electrical, air conditioning system, all of that is inspected during the time of construction and have to be signed off on for that community to be able to close on that home. So you've made it through all these. Most, if not all, new construction homes are completely under warranty for the first year. Something that I highly recommend that you do in month 11 after being in that house, that you have a home inspector come in and do a complete home inspection. So the advantage, new construction, you're going to have little to zero repair cost. So that's a huge advantage. Another thing to consider, and I just told you about the county doing 30 inspections during the construction process. So that home will be built to the highest hurricane standards. They up them about every 3 to 5 years on what's mandatory that they put into these homes. Now, an example of that is storm shutters. It's required that if the buyer does not buy impact windows, that the home comes with storm shutters. So you're shown during that walkthrough process how those shutters go up. And then the things like the roof, how the roofs are put on now, it's literally strapped down to the frame of the roof and the concrete blocks that the home is built with. So that roof is strapped down to those. So it makes it, nothing's impossible, but very, very difficult for that roof to blow off. That's the new code. So everything from how the air conditioning system is mounted on the outside of your home, it has to be sitting on a concrete block, to how the windows were installed. The doors, do they open to the inside or to the outside? It's all coded for the particular county that you're going to be in. So you want to be aware of that. An example of something we do when we're working with somebody building a home here, we go out, we are not home inspectors, but we go out and do video for our clients if they're living in the Northeast, in New York, New Jersey, wherever. We're doing video of that home as it's being built, when the slab is poured, when the brick walls are installed, when the frame for the roof goes up, all the way through the process. So it's a peace of mind thing, really, for our clients, because they can watch their home being built. Everything will be up to code in a new construction home, so you don't have to worry about updating things when storm season rolls through. Buying new construction, the builders are back to offering what they call incentives to use not only their home, build a home for you, but to use their title company, to use their mortgage company. And they often will give you money towards your closing cost or towards upgrades. It just depends on the builder and where they are. 2021 into the first quarter of 2022, those completely went away because they couldn't build homes fast enough and people were lined up to buy their homes. Now that everything is kind of calmed down, we're heading back towards a normal market. All of a sudden, the builders are offering incentives again. I was just at a community this past week, and they were offering $4,000 towards your closing cost if you use their mortgage company. So I always talk to my clients, even if you're a cash buyer, look at the incentives that they're offering you, and is it worth it to use those incentives? Some of them will give you $10,000 towards your upgrades. I mean, that's pretty huge. How about if I use their title company? What are they going to give me? If I build it on this particular lot, are you giving incentives to build on a lot? What are the incentives to build this particular home? You have to ask, because the salesperson at that community, remember, they work for the builder. They're amazing. They're knowledgeable. But guess what? They're there to make the builder as much money as they can. That's why having an agent there with you that knows to ask a lot of these questions is very, very important. I highly recommend that. But that's some more advantages of the new construction process and going through financing. New construction homes also tend to hold their value or increase in value more quickly than a resale home. Now, why is that? It depends on where you are in the process of buying in that particular community. We have two Dell Webbs here. One's located in Lakewood Ranch, and one is located in Parrish, which is about 15 minutes away from Lakewood Ranch. So the difference is in the Dell Webb of Lakewood Ranch, that community is about 95% built out. So what has the builder done? If you want to live in this community, this is our price. This is where we've priced it. And guess what? The price didn't go down. It went up significantly. In the community, the Del Webb in Parrish, it's a newer community. It's about 18 months old. They've probably got 3, 4, maybe 5 years to build out there. So if you get in on the early stages of that community, you may get an amazing value for a home. An example of that is we have some clients that built a home, decided they want to get a larger home in the same community. They were one of the first ones in there. So we have their resale home priced $100,000 higher than what they paid for their home. And it's been a year, something like that, and we'll get it. It just went on the market. You're going to see modern floor plans in these homes. The days of having a formal dining room, living room, family room are all gone, because guess what? Baby boomers don't want all that. They're looking for great room plans where the kitchen is opened to the living room. Maybe have a dining area, but not a separate dining room. They're looking for that outdoor space, large lanais, pool area, amenities in the community. So those are all things that are huge, huge advantages in getting in, especially early, into a community. What's a couple of disadvantages to building new construction? Well, two of them are the price per square foot and then the wait time for your house to be built. So price per square foot, obviously in today's market, you are paying today's prices for appliances, air conditioning, paint. The builder obviously is going to pass all those price increases on to you. So it can be a little bit more expensive price per square foot. Now, wait times, that depends. If you're building from the ground up, or if you're moving into a community that is building what the builders call spec homes. Spec homes are communities where the builder picks the model home that's going on a particular lot. They pick out all the upgrades that are going to go into that home. You have no selection in any of that. They're building that home. Here's the price. Do you want it? Yes or no? If you're building from the ground up, like we've talked about homes in Del Webb here, Cresswind is another 55 plus community here. So if you're starting from the ground up, you do have that. You pick the lot, you pick the model, and then you go through a process on what you're going to make that home look like. Now, they don't do things on the interior of the home like move walls or anything, but you can pick out the flooring. You can pick out what they call the elevation to the home, which is what the front of the home looks like for that particular model. Paint colors, lighting. Do you want a pool? Do you want an extended lanai? What grade of appliances do you want? Do you want granite countertops or quartz countertops? What color cabinets do you want? So you have the selection process of doing that. Now, building from the ground up, that could take up to 16 months. Now, we're getting more back to an average time frame, which is about 9 months from the time you sign the contract. So some of the builders are still extended out. Some of them are back to, like I said, 8 to 9 months, which is normal. So if you come here, you're ready to buy a house now because you want to be in Florida by summertime. Hey, maybe not. So you have to go by that. Do I want to buy a spec home where I didn't pick anything out, but I like the home? Or do I want to semi-custom build my home to everything that I'm looking for in the home, inside the home, and maybe a pool or things on the outside of it? And we do have custom builders here too, that you can literally work with an architect and build your home, whatever it is that you're looking for. So we also have those. And as you can guess, price per square foot goes from the spec home, then to the semi-custom, and then the custom is obviously by far the most expensive. So those are just two disadvantages possibly of building a new construction home. Keep in mind, in this area, the Sarasota Lakewood Ranch parish area, where a lot of this new construction is happening, just not too long ago, it was farmland or maybe just vacant land. So the parish area, which I told you about, is where North River Ranch is being built, and that Dale Webb that we've talked about, that was all farmland. So there was no landscaping there. So could be a disadvantage for you, because people who are buying new construction a lot of times are expecting like plush landscaping. So they do a landscaping package. They'll tell you how many trees are going to go in, what kind of bushes are going to go in, what kind of grass is going to be installed. So that can be a disadvantage for some folks if they don't have the vision to think of, wow, this landscaping is going to come in really nicely once it's grown in, but it's going to take probably 18 months for it to really kick in. So, if that's important to you, that's something to consider as well. One other disadvantage of new construction is your property taxes will probably be higher because you're going to be assessed on the cost of that new home. Now, that's not really a disadvantage all the time, but one of the things you have to consider in our area is a CDD fee too. Now, a CDD fee is a bond that every homeowner in that community pays over a 30-year period. And what that does, that maintains the roads, the signs, the parks, the lakes, everything within that community. It maintains it. And that's added to your property tax bill. So in this area, you can count on your property taxes being around 1.6% of the assessed value of your home. If you have a CDD fee, it will probably be in the 1.8, maybe 1.9% of the assessed value of your home. So you can figure that out pretty easily. Now, we do have homesteading. You get a $50,000 price decrease off the assessed value of your home. Once you move here, you can homestead. If you buy a resale, it may be homesteaded, and you get the advantage of having the homestead on that home for the remainder of the year. But you have to apply before the end of the year for the next year. So you definitely want to do that, because that locks you in on your property taxes each year. They can only go up 3% per year. And again, that's in Florida. So hopefully you found this very informative about new construction homes. And again, if you're liking our videos, you've seen this one, hit the subscription button and then the notification bell, and you'll get a notification. No spam, not emails, anything like that, but you'll get a notification every time you go on YouTube that will tell you, hey, you got a new video that you've liked in the past, and you'll see one that we've put out. We typically put out about 2 to 3 each week. And again, it's everything about living here on the sun coast of Florida, about our amazing beaches, what fishing is like, golfing is like, shopping, the unbelievable amount of beautiful restaurants that we have here, and just living here. What's it like? So we do these videos, as I said, 2 to 3 times a week. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can call me on my cell phone, 941-962-7443. If you happen to receive this by email, you can go on my calendar invite down below my signature and schedule a phone call, a Zoom call, or an in-person meeting with me. I'd love to talk to you about living here on Florida's Sun Coast.